Welcome to the first LOPEC talk after LOPEC 2022. My name is Wolfgang Mildner. I'm the General Chair of LOPEC, and I do welcome you for this LOPEC, which should give you some information about the ideas, what we want to achieve with LOPEC this year, and what we achieve and what we have also as highlights for the last LOPEC. So I think this will be an interesting LOPEC talk, and we'll give you some more details about the agenda in a minute. Let me just share my screen. So this is the agenda for today. So I'm welcome you all for this event. We will take a look a bit on review of LOPEC 222. The reason for that is actually simple. We have still all plenary talks, or at least all plenary talks available so that you can take a look at it, but they are a bit hidden in the website. So I want to just give you a guide how to still approach it and how you can take a look, which gives you a good idea about what you can expect also for next year's LOPEC, but also this highlights, I think, is a good introduction. The next topic will be that we'll take a look at LOPEC 223, which means that, yes, we have focus topics, yes, we have a new conference board, and yes, and I think that's most important, is you can still participate. You can still have participate with your paper. The deadline is extended to October 10th. And I will also introduce you to the new OEA project manager, and I will give you an idea about the highlights of the conference and the exhibition, what you can expect. The next topic on the agenda is we want to strengthen the startup competition. The startup competition next year, we want to really force startups to make more business out of the technology. We always had the startup competition as part of the LOPEC, but we want to strengthen that. And I will give you an idea about why we want to do that, but I will also introduce you to the new startup chair. We have John Falteich, hopefully with us. He's still, I think, on the plane, but I will introduce you also to him. And I will also introduce you to some new things we thought about and some incentives for the startups to participate in this competition. And finally, we will take a look at the next LOPEC talks, and I will introduce you dates and topics which we want to discuss there. So let's start. The start of LOPEC 22 is just a look back. We had a very successful LOPEC this year. We had nearly 2,000 attendees. We had more than 150 exhibitors. And it was really also successful, and it was the first organized event from Messe Munich after a long period of COVID. But everyone enjoyed it, and I think that that's the most important part, enjoyed to talk to each other, to meet each other. And of course, this hopefully is continued also next year. So as I said, I don't want to talk about all the highlights of LOPEC 222. You still can take a look at the program. You can still take a look at the exhibitors. But what I really want to give you an idea is, if you want to retrieve the former plenary talks, they are still available. And if you want to do that, I'll give you the idea how to do that. First of all, you just go to the website, you look at the main menu, you see there is a topic conference, you push on that. So this is where you push, and then you will come into this menu, and here you press or you move to the plenary session. If you move to this point, then actually you will see all the list of the plenary talks of our last LOPEC. And for every plenary talk which is available, which is recorded, you will see view session recording. And if you press that, actually you will see the video and it will start automatically, and then you can take a look. In this case, I've pressed on the bottom of the talk of the CEO of Heidelberg, Rainer Hunsdorfer, who gave a talk last time. So this is the way you can navigate through LOPEC's website to retrieve the plenary talks. Let's take a look, and it's always good to take a look back, and also still some content which is available, but of course now we want to move into the preparation and of LOPEC 223. And as you can imagine, we start with the preparation immediately after we finished with LOPEC 222. The first things we discussed is what is the feedback on the focus topics. And you always remember, printed electronics is a wide field of applications. And we have selected in the past two focus topics, which is mobility and smart living. And we continue with these two focus topics, but we want to emphasize even more that sustainability and sustainability within the production, within the products is integrated in printed electronics. So it is for us not a focus because it's built in both of these focus topics. It's something which grows with both of these two focus. Just see that we are missing smart living, but smart living is of course our second focus topic. The other thing which we also decided to mention and also discuss, and actually we've seen that this is not really tied to one of our two focus topics, is some emerging markets and applications. One of these is the Internet of Things, IoT or 5G, 6G applications. They are connected to both, to mobility and smart living. So I think also this is something we want to pursue for LOPEC next year, and you will see some of the talks really heading in this direction. So preparation started, and as I said during last LOPEC already, it is a teamwork effort. So I can't do anything without a good conference board, and you see that this conference board consists out of very interesting people. You see that we have a new business chair, Kerry Adams. Some of you still know him from his function as DuPont. Now he is working as with his own company, Ventu. We have Richard Price with us as our technical conference chair. He's the CTO of Pragmatic. We have still Luisa Torsi with us, our scientific conference chair, and we have our short course chair, Dr. Bertrand Filon. Both of them, they were already part of the conference board of last year or this year's event. So some parts, some members have been new, some are still continuing. So I think that's important to know. This is the team which helps to create LOPEC and especially create the conference. But actually, we built this conference with your help. So it's the call for paper, which is important. I can say we have already received a large number of papers, but we still have decided that we need to continue with this. We need to open the call for paper still for not close to a week, but for a few days more. So it was the deadline was announced for September 30th, Now we've extended to October 10th. So this is then the final deadline. If you want to bring in your input to make this program as attractive as it was in the past, please bring in your papers, use the extended deadline and be part of LOPEC 2023. So what also new for LOPEC is also we have a new member from the OEA, and I would like to ask Elisabeth Menke, Dr. Elisabeth Menke, to join me. Here she is, and introduce herself. She's helping from the OEA to prepare it, and I would like to give her also the view on the audience, but also to give the audience a view on you to see who is now part of the OEA team to help us to make LOPEC as attractive as it is. Please, Elisabeth, introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Wolfgang. My name is Elisabeth Menke, and I just want to say a few words about me. I'm organic chemist. I did my PhD in organic electronics in 2018 and at the University of Heidelberg. After that, I was lab head at Wacker and managing scientific projects regarding to lithium-ion batteries. And now I followed up by a new position as project manager at OEA. And here I'm organizing the program of our OEA meetings. I'm responsible for working groups like roadmap, hybrid systems, education, encapsulation, and I'm also coordinating the LOPEC conference. Just a few words to the roadmap. We are also publishing a roadmap for organic and printed electronics. And the focus here is that we want to provide a current view of the industry to help in defining current and future market drivers and key challenges. And we want to, and here's the deadline, the timeline. Manfred, maybe you can switch. Here's the timeline, and we want to publish the roadmap on LOPEC 2023. At the moment, we are at the first draft of chapters are coming in, and in the mid of October, we want to get the final chapters. And in November, we're starting the editing part so that we can publish this roadmap at the LOPEC in February. And with that, I want to
thank you, Elisabeth. I think now we've already seen one of the highlights of next year's LOPEC is the next version of the roadmap. There is already several versions, and one of the strong things of this roadmap is really that it is updated, that a lot of people are working on this, and it's a synchronized roadmap of all the members of the OEA, and it will be published at next LOPEC, and that means this is one of the highlights. So thank you, Elisabeth, for the introduction. You also see that we gained a lot of competence. That's great. And we will, of course, use that to make also the preparation very professional. And of course, OEA will have a booth. You will see Elisabeth, and you will see also the other members of the OEA at next year's LOPEC at the booth. One of the highlights, of course, is the conference program. And one thing I want to mention, and that's actually one of these names, some of the names are the first time they mentioned. If you want to have a current update, it's just always look at the website of LOPEC, and we are updating this all the time. I think just to give you some comments, this is a preliminary list of the plenary speakers. These are the ones which have confirmed their participation. And especially, I think, starting with Pirelli, I think it's a quite interesting thing. And the reason Pirelli will talk to us is about how to, it's in the focus topic mobility, quite clear. The question is really, what is Internet Things for mobility, for automotive? And that's the tires. They are the connect to not only to the car, it's also connected to the street, to the road, and all the data which is there collected is so important. And we'll hear what Pirelli is doing in this area, but we will also hear from large companies like Microsoft, what IoT and especially what the data is, how important that is. And all the other talks are in giving other directions to help us to understand how mobility and smart living is driven by applications which are realized and implemented using printed electronics. So this is just a first look on some of the plenary speakers which already have confirmed, and there is more coming up. And there is even also a list of invited speakers available for the technical and for the scientific conference. Also, this list is updated on the website of LOPEC, and you can take a look. But we have also an exhibition, and I think also that is important for those who have not yet made up their mind or have not yet decided. This is the status so far of the LOPEC exhibition. We have currently 64 exhibitors from 19 countries which have registered, and there are several of them are participating the first time, 13 already. So we expect, of course, we had 150, so we expect this number, but that already 64 exhibitors have decided to come, and that 13 of them are new is really a good sign. And of course, if you want to be part of it, it is good to decide early, because right now also the situation, the space allocation of where these booths are positioned, this is currently under construction. So if you decide, you get the best spaces if you decide as early as possible. You know that we can handle, and you've seen that early this year, we can handle also situations when, again, a pandemic situation will occur. We can handle this, giving us more space. The entrance situation is already mentioned here, is maintained. We will have even more space available in the foyer, because some of the exhibitors which were coming back, they are extending their booth space. So this is important. And finally, very good news, we will have our own LOPEC app also for our next event. Next step and next good news, I think, and important news is that we want to strengthen the startups at LOPEC. I still hear that John Faltach is unfortunately not in the line. He's in a plane, and that was delayed. But I have the slides, and let's say I've talked to him, and we discussed what we want to do. And I think that is something I can share with you. And next time he will talk to us again, because startups will be a big part of our preparation, because we think it's more and more important. So the actual observations show that we get more and more mature technology, but that means this technology can be moved more and more successfully also to business. So we see more and more startups. We've seen this development also for last LOPEC, but we have also seen that more and more venture capitalists are interested. And it's not only venture capitalists, it's also big companies which look at the technology, also angel investors look at it. So I think it's an interesting time, and we have to we have with LOPEC the platform to connect each other. So we want to strengthen the competencies of the startups, and we want to connect them. We want to connect the network. And we want to strengthen also the visibility and interaction, which means we want to give the selected startups more time for discussion during the competition. And how to do that? What we've changed is we have a new chair. This is John Falter. He will be part of LOPEC's startup and business activities. He is our new startup chair. John, formerly working for Fraunhofer, is now director of CAT Markets. So I think also in his professional position, he's helping startups. So I think that's a first very good point. We will have a call for paper, which currently starts immediately after our call for paper for the conference. Actually, it's October 13th, not 12th, but this is how it started. And we will select best papers and awards, like you know, but we want to introduce something new. We want to give an award to people which enter their awards or their papers as soon as possible. So there will be a free conference ticket available for the best and early papers. And I'll explain that in a minute. And we will have an extended jury. We had business experts already. We have venture capital experts there. We will have business angels. We have IP experts, which we want to introduce. So we will enhance the network of the jury to share the competence and help the startups to grow and also to be connected and to be successful finally. So here, I think this is the incentives which I just mentioned briefly on the last slide. Is there will be a new incentive for the best early paper where we have an early deadline. So we will communicate this also during the social media and LinkedIn and so on. So if you are putting your paper before November 19th this year, the jury will select and present. We will present this paper at our next LOPEC Talk in December 1st. And that winner wins a free conference ticket for LOPEC 223. And I think that's a big prize. And it's an interesting conference, we know. And it's also worth a lot of money. And I think that's a nice nice incentive for being early and introduce your paper to the jury. And of course, we will award all the papers which come in later, and they will have they will get coaching vouchers, and the winners of the awards, which you know, they will even have the chance to win a booth at our next LOPEC in 2024. So you know that we are giving away 2 awards for startups every year, and the winners of these awards will not only have a chance to receive the award, they will also get a booth at the next LOPEC, and they will get a talk at our LOPEC Talk, because they should get more visibility. And this is also the reason why in our next LOPEC Talk, we will feature the winners of this year's LOPEC, so that you have a chance to see why they have won a prize, what experience they've made. So we will give startups even more visibility than in the past. We talked about the jury. This is a list which will be completed or we will have additional members in the future. John Falter, of course, talked about him. Kerry Adams as our business chair is part of it. But also we have really experienced industry members like Michael Heck. He is not only CTO for UDC, but he's also running UDC Ventures, so venture capitalist. We have Oliver Kahl. We already agreed to be part of it. He's from MIG, a very large venture capital company. Guido von Tartwig, CEO of Heliatech, experienced business, and Rudolf Freitschek from Amires. So already 6 members, and we continue this because we think that with this jury, we'll receive more and more discussions also with our startups to gain more experience and make them more successful. So just to recap, I've seen that there was one typo in the last slide, but this one is, I think, okay. These are the important dates which are coming up for startups. We will publish that, of course. The call for paper will start immediately after the call for paper, which ends October 10th. And October 13th, the call for paper for startups opens. And then we have the first deadline to win a conference ticket, which will be selected from our startup jury, and the announcement of that will be already in December 1st. So this is to give the early birds a good chance to have also an incentive to be an early bird. And then we have the final deadline for the startups which is then January 13th, and then there is something new. We have had last year a large number of startups presenting, and we think we should reduce that to give some selected startups a better chance to discuss and improve themselves also interactively with the startup jury. So we will, after this deadline in January 13th, we will select the best candidates, and they have then and they will be announced in February 1st, and then be ready for our conference and exhibition and presentation at LOPEC 2023. This brings me to the outlook. This is the last part of the agenda, to the outlook, and some of the dates have been already mentioned. First is our next LOPEC talk, number 9. And that is what I mentioned. We will have the winners of our 2022 startup competition with us. They will give us a talk. They will introduce themselves again. And we will also have the announcement of the winner of the booth for next year's LOPEC. Then our final LOPEC talk before our next LOPEC is, of course, we will talk about the highlights, and we'll also talk about the announcement of the participants of our next startup competition. So this is the end of the presentation and all the highlights which I wanted to introduce to you. Just remember the date, save the date, February 28th to March 2nd in 2023. Then we will see us all at LOPEC 2023. And remember, still the call for papers is open for a few days. So hurry up and make the conference better by introducing your input. I would like to thank you for your attention. I will try to see if there is any questions. I don't see that so far, but what I want to say is this is recorded. So if you want to share this, there will be a link available. You can share this presentation, and it will be available also on our website. So this is, of course, available also for the participants which did not have time today to take part. I would like to say thank you for all that for all of the people who've attended, and I would like to say thank you and look forward to see you in our next LOPEC talk or at LOPEC next year. Thank you.